Dear first year Essentials parent, I have some tips for you to help make your first year of Essentials be an absolute breeze. First things first, on weeks 1 and 2, your tutor is going to be showing you all the pieces of the essential puzzle. She's going to be talking the first day about nouns and verbs and adjectives and adverbs, and she's going to be throwing out words like transitive and intransitive, and you're not going to know what some of these words mean. And there's going to be other kids in the class that are popping out the answers because they've been in Essentials for a few years, and so they do know. But you need to know that on weeks 1 and 2, the goal of the tutor is to show the completed puzzle that you and your student will know at the end of 3 years. You are not intended to know it on day 1. So if there's a lot of terms that you're hearing that you just don't understand, it's perfectly the way it's supposed to be, and just be patient, because at the end of 3 years, you will be able to see the whole puzzle as well. So on weeks 1 and 2, just observe and don't be worried about knowing all the terms yet, because all of that will come. In fact, on week 3, your tutor's going to take one piece of that huge puzzle and she's going to explain it all in depth. She's going to explain what the words mean and how to pick it out in a sentence. And so do not stress about the whole puzzle, because on week 3, you're going to start learning just one piece of the puzzle, and it will bring great freedom. Okay, so that's my first bit of advice. So on weeks 1 and 2 at home, you just want to focus on learning your charts. And I believe it's chart A. Also, you're going to work on really trying to understand how to do a keyword outline with your IEW paper. And then in week 3, she comes back and she pulls out one piece of that puzzle and she's going to explain it slowly and in depth. Let's talk about charts. The goal of charts is to memorize them and not yet to fully understand them. Remember, this is a classical way of learning, and so classical learning always begins with memorizing information, and then the understanding comes later. Let's talk about how to memorize your charts. You, as a first year student, want to focus in on the highlighted parts. So let's look at chart A real quick. There are no highlighted parts on chart A, and that's because this chart is meant to be memorized in your first year. In fact, if you spend the entire first year memorizing chart A, then you will be winning in Essentials. That's right, the whole first year. The sooner you have it memorized, the easier it will be for you. And there are amazing songs out there to help you do this quickly. But if you spend the whole first year and you get chart A memorized, you are winning. So here's chart A. But let's look at another chart. Let's look at the verb chart, chart C. I want you to notice how at the very top, this is highlighted in green. The highlighted portions are the portions that a first year student should be focusing on memorizing, and that is all. All the rest of the information on the chart is for exposure in your first year, but do not stress if your child does not have it completely memorized. They just need to know the highlighted portion. And again, there's awesome songs out there to help them learn this very quickly. On the black and white version, it is highlighted in gray. So again, first year students focus on memorizing the highlighted parts. Everything else is for exposure only. I want to stress with you that understanding of these concepts will trickle down over 3 years. So if your child has the definition of a verb memorized, but is still struggling a little bit with how to choose it in a sentence, it's okay. Just continue to patiently model that every single day, and understanding will trickle down over the next 3 years. So don't force it. Don't force understanding. Just simply memorize, and the understanding of all these concepts will trickle down over the next 3 years. So your goal this year is to do whatever is easy and then add one more thing. Easy plus 1 is your mantra. Say it out loud with me. Easy plus 1, easy plus 1, easy plus 1. That is all. There are absolutely no tears allowed in Essentials. If you have a child or a parent that has shed a tear, then it is time to close the books and move on to something else. There is absolutely nothing in here that is worth crying over. You have 3 whole years to learn all of this information. So don't force it, don't rush it, just take it. Easy plus 1. I have a secret for you. Are you ready? If you never master all of the information taught to you in Essentials, it will be okay. Anything you and your child do master will be a great help and value to you. But if you don't master it all, I promise you, you will be okay. So I'm going to reiterate this part again. You have 3 whole years to learn this information. No tears are allowed. And your goal is to do whatever is easy plus 1. I hope you have a great first year of Essentials.